way off the ropes. Hamsho content to stay against the ropes now. Uppercut scores by Marvin Haglar, and another right hand to the face, and the eyes continue to bleed of Mustafa Hamsho. Haglar combination, scoring at will. Crowd is alive. Right hand to the face once more of Hamsho. Hamsho obviously taking his corner seriously. This is the last round, and it looks very much right now as though it will be.
Well, Hamsho has sustained more cuts on the lower part of his eye, and I don't see no way this fight can continue.
This time, I think everybody is in agreement that the fight cannot go on much longer. Octavio Moran taking a very close look now at Mustafa Hamsho. Hamsho cut along the bridge of the nose, on the eye, inside the mouth, both eyes. Trying to do what he can to keep the attack of Marvin Haglar off of him, but there is very little he can do right now. Just trying to measure it, keep him away. Haglar scores with the right hand, even so. And another right hand, and yet another. Combinations of punches by the champion. Tries to go downstairs, comes up, a right hand snaps his head back. Hamsho is against the ropes, takes another right hand, and an uppercut. Hamsho's corner is up, and they are saying, that's it, that's all. Braverman is saying, stop it. The referee does so. The fight is over, and Marvin Haglar has retained his undisputed middleweight championship of the world. What can you say?
You can't say anything, but this guy is truly, Haglar, the greatest middleweight in the world, without a question.
And he really got all he wanted from Mustafa Hamsho tonight. He hit him, I don't know how many punches, 200-300 punches maybe?
It maybe was double than that. I think that Haglar displayed all the talents that he has, and I take my hat off to the guy.
Outstanding effort by the champion Marvin Haglar. Second fight in a row, of course, that he was butted. And again, you have to look at the challenger Mustafa Hamsho and say, here's a guy who really did a job. His corner did a pretty good job too, because from the time he got cut, which I believe was in the third round, from that point on, the bleeding until this last round really was at the point where I would doubt that it was even bothersome to him.
Well,
take another look at the finish of the fight. Ray, talk us through this.
Well, at this point now, Haglar's in complete control, and he displays so much talent here. As we see Hamsho trying to line up Haglar with a punch, Haglar scores a straight right hook, rather.
I think one of the most remarkable things, and I think this is a sign of any great champion, Sugar Ray Leonard, Marvin Haglar, that when you have the man in trouble, you don't waste punches. And Marvin Haglar did not waste a punch tonight.
Well, Haglar took advantage of the opportunity. He had his man hurt, and he took care of business.
So Marvin Haglar retaining the middleweight championship of the world, doing so in most impressive fashion. And you get one more look here at the end for Mustafa Hamsho, and you can't use the phrase enough. He was dead game, but there was nothing he could do. He was just in with the best middleweight around right now, and maybe ever. And there's a handshake by Marvin Haglar to Sugar Ray Leonard right here, and here's the official decision.
9 seconds, 11th round, the winner by technical knockout and still the world's middleweight champion, Marvin Haglar.
Well, the crowd appreciative of a very worthy champion. And right now, Larry Merchant is with that worthy champion, Marvin Haglar. Larry?
Marvin, how did your hands stand all of that, hitting on him as much as you did?
Well, I needed to work. If I'm getting ready for the Sugar Man sometime, so they can't predict that I can't go 15. I felt in tremendous shape.
Was that why you weighed 157 pounds?
That's right. I knew that he was going to keep the pressure on, and I had to work real high. And it paid off for me. You see the hand speed started to come out.
Let's take a look at some of the action here, right here, and describe it for us, Marvin Haglar.
Well, right there, I started using the body shots a little more. Start putting the combinations a little bit more together. I was only using one punch at a time. Brian being a southpaw, you're able to get hit with more shots from the blind side. That's what he was using against Minter. Was my punch that I used against Minter. But I just tried to protect that eye, which I got a headbutt just in the first round or something like that. But I'm not complaining. I wanted to show the world that I deserve to be the champion of the world, and I'm hoping for the big fight of the century, and that's with the Sugar Man.
When you sustained the cut on your eye, what was the thought that ran through your mind?
Well, I wasn't going to let it bother me. I know I had a good cut man in there. I know he was doing his job. I got to do my job in here. Everybody has their job. We're a good team.
Almost immediately, however, you went and cut his eye.
I had to. So that way they look enamored there. We even now, I said.
But you did it with punches.
That's right. They were sharp, but I should have put them together a little bit more quicker in the earlier rounds. I should have knocked him out earlier.
Were you surprised that the cuts didn't bother him in the middle rounds?
No, he's been cut so many times, you know, and I could see that my cuts was a lot deeper. When I seen the cut on the middle of his face right here, then I just started knowing that he was getting tired, and I started using the body attack.
Marvin, although Sugar Ray has said in the past that he'd like to fight you, most recently he said, well, maybe he's a little too big for me. Who are the other middleweights that you might fight?
Well, I leave that all up to my manager, but we told you we're going to be a fighting champion, and this is what I want to be. I'm staying active until I get a shot at Leonard if he decides on moving up, but I'm not going to wait for him. I'm going to stay busy.
Looks like if he doesn't move up with your weight tonight, you might move down.
No, I'm a legit middleweight. For this type of style, which I told Dr. Pacheco, you have to be in tremendous shape because he's a brawler. He comes at you all the time. You got to be in tremendous shape. I had my legs in tremendous shape, my body, and the main important thing was my mind.
Thank you very much, Marvin Haglar. Now back to Ray and Barry.
Just say hello.
All right, thank you, Larry. Thank you, Marvin. And I'll say it for Marvin Haglar. Wanted to say hello to Mom and say hello to the folks out here. Let me ask you your impressions. I know you were really impressed with the man, and you were telling me that you would like to have Marvin Haglar, but you don't want him at 160 pounds. And sure enough, he came in at 157 for this fight.
Well, that proves Marvin can make 154 because I can't fight him at 160 because I don't carry 160. I barely carry 147. But Marvin, he displays so much talent. He's proved that he's number one. I proved I'm number one. So who else can we meet but ourselves, you know, both of us?
Well, let me play devil's advocate for just a minute. You were saying also you're not too anxious to get a piece of Thomas Hearns once again. What about letting Hearns fight Haglar before you get to him and you take the winner?
No, I think Hearns and Duran and Benitez and Kaluli, they must fight each other, and they fight the winner of Haglar myself.
It would be a heck of a good fight, you and Marvin Haglar, no question about it.
Telling me.
In every respect, be a good fight in the ring, be a good fight at the gate. Both you guys have really been doing really well. And we mentioned earlier, Marvin Haglar is a guy who really has not had the big payday, and I think you have said yourself, you owe it to him.
Yes, I think that Haglar deserves a big payday. I mean, he's proven that he's an active champion. He's knocked out everybody, and I think he deserves a big payday against Sugar Ray.